welcome to this week's episode of the Ramblin' Reynolds podcast, hosted by Jesse Reynolds. Firstly, I would like to apologize for the length of time that I've been absent from publishing a new episode. I've been busy. I just started a new job with the Louisiana state government, so that was taking some of my time. And I don't know, I didn't need to, and plus I've been weighing on other options of things I want to do in my life. Like I've been considering going back to school and finishing my degree and get my bachelor's degree, and been doing research on where to go to school, and I think I figured out where I want to go. I want to take online classes, so I'm going to go to Western Governors University. It seemed like they had a good program, and I'm going to study networking like I was for my associates. So I was just trying to find somewhere that takes, because I got my associate's degree at IGT Tech, so I figured I would get my bachelor's in tech as well, and specifically networking, so that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully it seems like it's a good program. And also didn't think my wife was going to be on this week's episode, but she is. She woke up from her hibernation. So
no, they're my coma naps. So they're actually kind of scary. Sometimes I fall asleep and I can't wake up no matter how hard I try.
Yeah. But
I take thyroid meds. I think that, I don't know if I need to up them or what, or if I have some rare disease. But I'll be like awake, but not really awake, but I'll know what's going on, and I just can't move or talk or do anything. Yeah.
And Jill just got some news job-wise too. Like, she was interviewing for a job, and it's with her same federal agency. And
yeah, but I turned it down.
She turned it down, but
we would have had to move to DC.
Yeah.
And I don't know if our lifestyle I don't know if the salary would have permitted us to live our same lifestyle that we are accustomed to.
Yeah.
AKA not live in a studio apartment with 4 animals and 2 humans.
And eat ground beef and rice.
That actually sounds delicious. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, it's a cheap meal.
Yeah. Well, we don't spend a lot of money on food. We spend a lot of money on the animals.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
But, so, also this week, we're going to talk about, we'll get into some current events and some topics to talk about. Mm-hmm. I think that's, as far as news in our life and what's going on, I think that I covered most of it.
Well, in this very room where we speak, where I was taking my napsy that Jesse so rudely awoke me from, we have a new foster kitty bitty. We're trying to get her, she's very good with humans, but she's terrified of other cats. So we're trying to get her socialized with other kitties so she can move back to the shelter with all the other cats.
Oh yeah, she's all anxious, so hopefully we'll rehabilitate her back to, being able to be adoptable.
Well, she definitely could be adopted. The humans isn't the problem. It's just living at the shelter with the 12 other cats is the issue. Because it's a cage-free environment, so all the kitties have to get along with everyone.
Yeah.
She's very beautiful. She's a calico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We were saying okay like you didn't know that.
Yeah, I know she's calico.
She's also very short, like she's part munchkin. Like she's itty-bitty.
Yeah, she's a little kitty.
Yeah, compared to our hefters.
Yeah. We don't have any true giant cats. We don't even giant.
You're in denial about Pixie's size.
Yeah, but she's not, like, large.
She's a she's morbidly obese.
Yeah, she's fat.
Yeah, we really need to work on that.
Well, whatever.
She shouldn't be large. But
she lays around.
I know. Well, we probably feed her too much. It's probably all this shit food we're feeding her.
Jeez.
We need to get her back on the raw.
Okay, so what intrigued me this week in news-wise or sports news, I haven't really. Well, I did find out. Firstly, I'll just get this out of the way. So DeMarcus Cousins used to play for the Pelicans. Last season, he played for the Warriors, and I assume when he picked the Warriors, he thought he was going to get another championship. That was all for naught. He did not win. And so he signed a 1-year deal with the Warriors, went and signed with the Lakers because he reunited with Anthony Davis, thinking that's going to be a good team. They're going to win.
That probably would have been a good team.
Right, but then he went and did a workout in Las Vegas, did a layup, ran his knee into some other player, and tore his ACL.
Does that mean he's, out forever?
He's going to be out for a while. I don't wish ill upon him. I wish he would have stayed with New Orleans, but it's kind of too late now. I don't think he'd come back now, but...
Well, we wouldn't want him if he's broken.
Yeah, but...
Bless you.
I still hope he gets better, and it's kind of sad either way.
Yeah, he was fun to watch play. Bless you.
Excuse me.
That's going to be great in the headphones. You might want to edit that out. I'm not kidding. That could really blow people's ears out.
Oh, well. Anyways, also, what I noticed last week, J.J. Yelly, I'm sure no one knows that name.
No one.
No one. I didn't know this name until just now, actually. But he's a NASCAR driver.
Oh, so someone might know that name.
But he drives what number? The number 54 car. So
yes, old 54.
Old 54, and he was suited to be so lucky to have Slayer as a sponsor on his car. But old Bible Belt Yealy turned it down and got whomever. Who did he get?
Actually, who did he get? Now I'm curious.
Pods, the moving company. Pods is his replacement sponsor.
Did he turn him down for religious reasons, or are you just speculating?
I'm speculating.
Okay.
I'm
Pods probably could pay more money than Slayer.
Who knows, but...
That's also a really lame sponsor, though.
But they were pulled, so I don't know why. It doesn't say in the article.
Reactionary comments.
Yeah.
It said due to reactionary comments.
Yeah, I mean, Slayer...
Aww.
I mean, Slayer is a pretty hardcore heavy metal band.
What songs do they do?
Let's see. Rain and Blood is a song. It's a popular title by them.
Would I know these songs? Or they play it on the radio?
They had a whole album called God Hates Us All.
Yeah, I can see where, maybe that's not NASCAR's thing. Actually, that's very weird that Slayer wanted to be in NASCAR. Was that ironic? Was that, a joke they were playing?
I don't know. It's their 40th year as a band. They're on their last farewell tour.
Slayer's not the one with the old Metallica guitarist, right?
No, that's Megadeth, Joe.
Megadeth, okay. I'm sorry, I don't know all these things.
To the audience, she's confusing Dave Mustaine.
I don't know.
Who was originally Metallica's guitarist. I'm just articulating.
Yeah, so where I read about it was The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and it compares his life with the ex-Beatle guy who got kicked out.
Pete Best?
Pete Best, yes. And so, anyways, that's the only reason I even knew that some other heavy metal was tied to Metallica.
Yeah, but Dave Mustaine was a really good guitarist, so it's kind of for shame that he left the band.
Well, yeah, Megadeth apparently was like super darn successful, and yet he still wasn't happy. Read the book; it'll tell you more about it.
Yeah,
not sponsored by the book.
Yeah, we have 0 sponsors. So if anyone's out there, suitor sponsor, hit us up.
It's a good book though.
At ramblinrunnels@gmail.com, if you want to sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, maybe Slayer will sponsor us.
Or Radeon. AMD. If you want to sponsor the podcast, I just bought one of their nice, good graphics cards this week. So, I own a share in your stock. Not trying to toot my own horn.
You don't own a share in the stock. You own one of their products.
I own a share of AMD.
Oh yeah, with your trading thing.
That's right.
Okay. Look at us.
Anyways.
What were we talking about?
So, we're talking about Slayer, and that this guy got the sponsor was all for naught, and he didn't end up becoming the sponsor on that guy's NASCAR car. So, I mean, it would have been pretty cool, but I mean, it's kind of late on the. Weird. It's late on the race for Slayer anyway, because they're about to not be. I mean, they're on their last leg of their career, so. But also, what are you doing? So also, I wanted to add a debatable discussion here as our last topic for this week's episode. I wanted to ask, would America be more be better without Amazon? Like, is Amazon toxic for businesses in America? Like, are businesses going away because of Amazon? And before we start this debate, I would between me and my wife. Bless
I didn't know I was debating.
Okay, whatever.
Can I point out?
Or we'll just talk about it. Go ahead.
Can I point out, if anyone heard those weird noises, it sounded like farts, it was me getting on and off the bed, not actually ripping them.
Okay, wow.
Just to clarify.
Also, I'm a Democrat by voting on all accounts, state representative and beyond. So, I've been paying attention to the Democratic debates leading up to the 2020 election, and I support Andrew Yang. I've only watched the debates that he's been in because he's my guy for presidency. But I would like to play this sound clip just to,
Oh, we got sound clips?
Yeah.
Policy is to give every adult in the United States $1,000 a month, no questions asked.
That's right.
I think that's like $3.2 trillion a year. How would you do that?
Sorry?
How would you do that?
Oh, so it's difficult to do if you have companies like Amazon, trillion-dollar tech companies paying literally zero in taxes while they're closing 30% of our stores. Now, we need to put the American people in position to benefit from all these innovations in other parts of the economy. And if we had a value-added tax at even half the European level, it would generate over $800 billion in new revenue, which combined with the money in our hands, it would be the trickle-up economy from our people, families, and communities up. We would spend the money and it would circulate through our regional economies and neighborhoods, creating millions of jobs, making our families stronger and healthier. We'd save money on things like incarceration, homelessness services, emergency room health care, and just the value gains from having a stronger, healthier, mentally healthier population would increase GDP by $700 billion.
So that was Andrew Yang for the first primary Democratic debate in Miami. He said that Amazon is responsible for 30% of retail stores closing down. And that's pretty intense. I see a lot of that decay here in Baton Rouge. Not that, we had 2 malls here at one point. Now we have 1 mall of Louisiana. Previously there was this mall called the Mall of Cortana. You could say that it's part of like white flight.
It's
Probably.
definitely part of white flight.
But, I mean, you can also blame the Amazon thing.
Well, I wasn't prepared to debate. I thought you were just going to ask me if I yes or no. But it is interesting pointing out that it's responsible for 30% of businesses closing down, which I also feel like is kind of. I wonder how he gets that. Like, is that businesses that Amazon has then bought out so they shut down? Like, where's he getting that number? But we are living in an area of Baton Rouge that has a lot of growth right now, thankfully. So hopefully our condo will actually make some money on this bad boy when we sell it. So we can buy more cats. Rescue, not buy. Adopt, don't shop. But it's interesting because a lot of what's popping up isn't stores. It's all food, entertainment. Like, no one is trying to start new clothing stores, new merchandise, like nothing really in particular, except, the only thing that's going to work is alcohol and food, which you can't really get from Amazon.
No.
And all of them are on, Waiter and Uber Eats and all that good stuff, so that they can tap into that market as well, which is a whole nother thing of that super on-demand culture that we're creating.
Yeah. But, I mean, I've heard Andrew Yang say in other videos that, like, malls take a hit from Amazon as well. So, I mean, that's why I said that other mall closed down. But, I mean, I blame it on white flight here, but, I mean, you do see a lot of retail places closing down.
I mean, yeah, there's been places. Hi, Angel. Luther came to be on the podcast. What do you think about Amazon?
Yeah, no Luther, opinion.
Yeah, no. As long as he gets his wet food, he's fine.
Just
kidding. Luther would vote socialist.
Yeah. And out of all the candidates, I would say so far I support.
That's not the question.
Okay.
Would we be better without Amazon? On one hand, no, because then how am I going to get all of my ridiculous bachelorette items without having to go over to Port Allen and go to the sex store? Gross. Potentially get tracked down by some trucker serial killer in Port Allen. I mean, things could be real bad.
You have a point.
Whereas I can just go on Amazon, order some penis straws, call it a day, never get out of my jams.
True.
But then what happens to those sex stores that close down because no one goes over there to buy their penis straws for their bachelorette parties?
Yeah, but... Or you could probably get those at Spencer's or something.
Okay, well, I'm going with my serial killer, murder, trucker scenario, so let's stick to that, please. Then they can employ less people, so then it's going to be one lonely employee with no security guard over at the sex store, and then they're going to be the victims of the serial killer trucker instead of me. So I just murdered someone by ordering penis straws on Amazon.
Yeah, and it's crazy that year after year, Amazon has gotten tax breaks.
You just didn't.
What? What?
I love that you just zoned out my ridiculous story.
Oh, yeah.
He's been married to me for too long. Doesn't even know what I said.
No.
Oh yeah, she's talking about mythical serial killers again. Okay, move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tax breaks is insane. Corporations in general.
Yeah. So, I mean...
We're obviously not Republicans.
No. And, I mean, I've never been, I don't see anything that any conservative I've seen as a candidate for president or Republican, I name one, it's either foreign policy or, the only thing Trump's done so far, besides being a bigot or publicity stunts to make him look good with relations, also foreign policy with the North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, I think that, he's just did the tax breaks for these 1% companies, these trillion-dollar companies, and that's just benefiting him and the afterlife of him outside of the presidency.
Well,
because he's one of those companies.
I don't know if he is, actually. Hate to. Republicans, so Andrew Yang talks about the trickle-up economy. The reason why all these corporations have all these tax breaks is because Republicans talk about trickle-down economies, where if we give move your arms so Luther can sit, please. So if you give these companies tax breaks, they're going to have more money to spend on their employees and, make more jobs. But I think it's interesting because what we're seeing now, yes, some companies do that and it works, but then a lot of companies get greedy and are like, oh, free money? Cool. And they don't do, the right thing with it. And so it doesn't work. So it'd be interesting to see if the trickle-up economy works a little differently.
Yeah, but that's conjecture, what these Republicans are saying. They're putting in good faith that these trillion-dollar companies are going to do the right thing. They're not necessarily are.
Yeah. I mean,
like Amazon.
Corporations have had tax breaks for years. This is not a new Trump thing.
Yeah.
Literally years. So we should be able to look at it and see, is this working, is it not? And it's working great for some people. I mean, America's still a very good place to live.
Right.
Economy-wise, our economy is turning around, but...
Could be better.
Yeah, it could be better. But it'd be interesting to look at the wealth separation of who's benefiting the most, and who is it hurting people? Like, are the poor getting even poorer versus middle class getting a slight bump because of these, new jobs and stuff?
Right. But I think that
I don't know anything about economy, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone else would love to talk to you about this.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is that Amazon in particular as a company isn't looking to gainfully employ people. They're at the head of automation, particularly. So, huh?
Oh.
So they're gonna. I'm not saying that they're necessarily not killing jobs, but I'm saying that they're looking into automation and they're gonna get people's jobs gonna go away because of that. That's just the way of this second industrial revolution, you could name it, is what's gonna happen. A lot of jobs are gonna go away because of automation.
John Oliver actually just in the past few weeks did a thing on Amazon about basically how they're horrible to work for. Because the type of job that they're offering is not feasible for everyone. It's people walking around picking items to put in the packages, and so you end up walking 20 miles a day. So some people just cannot do it, and you have a certain count that you have to keep up. So if you're pregnant and have to take more bathroom breaks, your productivity falls below the threshold of what it needs to be, and so you end up not being healthy.
Jeez.
Potentially not using the bathroom when you should, which we all know not everyone knows, but it can lead to bladder infections. John Oliver didn't go into that, but telling you from experience, ladies, that can lead to a UTI holding your pee. So don't do it.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So, anyways, so the jobs that these companies are creating, the point is that even if they are making jobs in theory, are they jobs that the people who need jobs can do?
Or want.
Yeah. Yeah, is it worth what you're getting paid, to put your body through that?
Yeah, it might be...
It's better than coal mining, probably.
Yeah, it might be one of those jobs that you get to make a bunch of money as fast as you can and save it and then try to find something else later on.
Yeah, I don't know if you could make that much money.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know.
If it pays, like...
I don't think it pays insane.
Oh, alright.
Closer to minimum wage, probably.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just very glad I don't have to do that.
Yeah, should be.
Very thankful.
Well, I think that's, I think this was a good episode. What do you think, Joe?
Mm-hmm. Luther, what do you think? That was Jesse, not Luther. Don't believe his lies.
Well, anyways...
Yeah, I'm really hungry. Can we go have lunch or dinner?
It's dinner. Anyways, I hope, audience, you enjoy this week's episode of the podcast. And, like and subscribe to this week's episode on, Twitter. Or no, it's on... Oh, looks my best. Talking social media. iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and I think it's on Stitcher and some other places, Podbean. That's where the podcast is hosted itself. And if you guys if anyone wants to be a guest and / interviewed for the podcast, I am more than open for that. So you can inquire on my social media, on Facebook, you can find me at simply Jesse Runnels. On Twitter, you can find me at Jesse_Runnels. And on Instagram, at Jesse.Runnels.
88, isn't it?
No, it's Jesse.Runnels.
I always get that wrong. What's the Jesse _? You didn't say where that is.
That's Twitter.
Twitter, okay.
And you can email me at ramblingrunnels@gmail.com if you want to do that. Please, I hope you guys enjoy this week's episode.